What up, peeps? Can you hear me good? No. What up, North Fresh? Anthony? What's poppin'? Y'all like my new mask? I think I'm gonna wear this in spring game. All right. It's just hot for real.
Woo! All right. That shit was hot for real, and I can't take a drink with it on. What's up, peoples? It's your boy Derek Chill SlappinTV. It's your boy. What's going on? We're gonna get started here in a second. We got some shit to talk about. Mr. CANES, what's happening? Hey, who is excited? Hey, we got a couple things to go over today. We're gonna start off with some non-Miami stuff because if you guys have been watching some March Madness, the shit has been kind of bananas. Whew, that fucking mask was hot, dude. I'm actually using that for my new scary movie, Johnny. Yeah, man, Duke got beat. My Gonzaga Bulldogs got beat. Sorry about the sweat, man. I'm telling you, that mask was ridiculous. I could never do that shit in real life. All right, let me turn it a little bit around. I'll leave you a little bit in the background because I love a little country. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Derek Chill SlappinTV. Man, it has been a long time. I miss you guys. We're gonna go over a few things today. I hope you guys saw the stream I did earlier today. I got the new setup, so we are fully running and functioning. We're gonna be back to doing streams a lot. So, like I said, I gave a break from you guys. I just ordered like another like $2,000 worth of equipment. Dead ass, like $2,000 worth of equipment. So we're gonna be doing a lot more crazy stuff. But anyhow, first off, I want to say shout outs to everybody who watched the stream earlier today. It's your boy Derek Chill SlappinTV. And if you did not watch it, go ahead and check it out later. It is pretty dope. Actually, it's fire dope. I made it. Other than that, North Carolina lost. My boys Gonzaga lost. And Duke just lost. So, and what was the other one that lost? Kentucky? Yes, North Fresh. All right, North Fresh had UNC. My fiance, my wifey, she had Tennessee winning. I had Gonzaga winning. I thought Duke was going to run away with the table. So everybody's shit is biggity busted. So much. Oh, Kentucky lost. Thank you, David Brown. Shout out David Brown. What's going on? Interesting though. So all that happens. On a lighter and better note, Michael Irvin, his results came in cancer-free. So shout out to Michael Irvin. I know Michael Irvin II, his son that played for the U, is feeling good right now. I mean, anytime your dad is clear from cancer, that is no doubt dope. And honestly, when I heard it though, it was kind of weird because Michael Irvin has that kind of raspiness in his voice, and I kind of thought that might been what it was when they said it. But I'm glad. So shout out to Michael. Yes, Michael Irvin is cancer free. Shout out to all the you. We're gonna get some Miami stuff though. I got a long list of things we're gonna get into tonight. I will not be a very long stream. Shout out to Mr. Kane 211, David Brown, North Fresh, Anthony. I know my boy Lenore will be on a second. CJ Miami Canes, Coach Mike. I also messaged Coop. He probably be on here. Zoe might be on here in a little bit. So a lot of love going out, spreading out love for everybody. Like I said, it's been a while, but it's on now. So if you guys do not know, in tomorrow's the 1st, so in 14 days, in 2 weeks from today, Miami will host their first spring game, which you can guys go to. Some Shady Canes, man, what's up? Shout out to Some Shady Canes. He is a avid viewer on Zoe's. Some Shady, I didn't even know if you was up on my channel. I appreciate it. If you guys have not liked, subscribe, comment, please do. Your boy Derek Chill. I know I've been taking a break from you guys and giving y'all a little breathing time. It is off season, but off season is over. So, like I said, 2 weeks. The first spring game. I will be in Orlando. Me and the wifey will be in Orlando on the 20th. So we're going to get there that morning. We're going to go to our Airbnb. Then we're going to go to the game. And then I actually am going to go and get some drinks. Anybody that wants to come and join, we don't have a place where we're going to go yet, but we want to go and have some drinks. And also I want to interview you guys. And then I'm going to put it on the post Miami spring game video, which will probably be April 20. We'll get back 21st, 24th, 5th, something like that. So shout out to all you guys. Man, North Fresh, you way too far. Some Shady Kane said he's going to be in the game in Orlando. Shady, I am not sure if we're going to make it because me and the wife, get married in October. So, you know, multiple travel and money and all those shit. But we're going to try to make it. We shall see. So, as we get to this, yeah, North Fresh is from Washington, where I'm from, Spokane. Shout out to the 206 and shout out to the 509. So far away. Some Shady Canes, where do you want to meet at, man? Let's go and get a drink. All right, wait, are you vacationing that week? Some Shady, are you not going to be at the spring game? I apologize. Guys, I'll be honest with you. Since I've been doing my normal streams, I'm not drinking a lot. It's time for me to get back up in there. All right, so Slim Shady Kane says he will probably not be there in Orlando, but I feel you on that one. I just kind of like make a schedule on that. We got a couple things to get through. Again, Michael Irvin, cancer free, love that. Orlando, we got 2 weeks. Now 5-4 Broward County, Mr. Kane's 2-on-1. Also, on a super crazy note, so come to find out, last week Manny Diaz found out that the who was it gonna be? Somebody around me. Was it Kiss? Who was the concert that was supposed to be 420? What up, Nate? The concert supposed to be at Hard Rock on 420. They canceled that. So thank you. And this again, the Rolling Stones. They actually canceled, but Manny Diaz said this about 4 days ago. He said that he is going to go ahead and keep the spring game to Orlando for the fact that he wants his coaches and the players get acclimated to the locker room and all that other good stuff. I'm down with that. Plus, it's a shorter drive for me and the wife. So we'll be getting that. So while you guys are here, of course, I know a lot of you guys are saying things that you want to hear and talk about, but I'm going to go ahead and drop the topic. Let me go ahead and get a couple more shout outs. Some Shady Canes, Mr. Kane 2-on-1, Big Kane 1, my boy Nate, Anthony, I got North Fresh from Spokane all day. Anybody else I got in the chat? Put your name up in the chat real quick. Let me get a little more sips in my life. David Brown, shout out. March Madness has been nothing but freaking madness. You know what? I would have bet $100 on that Gonzaga game last night. I told the wife I would have bet $100 that they'd beat Texas Tech, and that didn't happen. So, yeah, I ain't got no more dogs in this race. Somebody said Virginia's gonna run with it. Yeah, some shady canes. I agree, man. Man, it's crazy. I go for honestly. My heart had Gonzaga because that's where I'm from, but my brain said that Duke had the most talent, so they probably win. And I was wrong on both accounts. And Kentucky lost. Man, it's so crazy. You know what's crazy? No, let me think about this real quick. I think in me and my fiance's bracket, we don't have anybody in the Final Four. Big Kane said he's glad that Duke's out. It is what it is. All right. Yeah, I was going with ACC too. I mean, I think Virginia might be the only chance we got to go ahead and rock this bitch, right? Yeah, Virginia's it. North Carolina's out. Duke's out. Then North Carolina and Duke are out. Kentucky's out. Tennessee's out. Shit's fucking bananas. All right, let's get down to business. So, what up, Jose? Jose, did you get your shirt? CJ Miami Canes got his shirt. See the pictures. If you guys do not know, check out any of the previous posts. We got SlappinTV shirts. I'm going to try to bring some down with me, but also we are going to do a on my Patreon page. If you guys are not subscribed, join the Patreon page. We actually going to start selling the shirt so I can get direct sizes because honestly, I thought some of you guys were like smaller than I was because I'm a big ass dude, and I actually should have ordered more like double XL, but I didn't. I apologize. All right, Jose, you got your shirt yesterday. Nice. Cool. So, all right, here's the topic. North Fresh got his shirt all the way in Spokane, Washington. So I think that's everybody. I think Crip is the only one that I did not get one. I only ordered 10 to begin with. Of course, my wife stole one, giving one to my son for his birthday. I hope he's not watching because he's at grandma's, but he's getting one for his birthday. I got one, and then everybody else got one. But anyhow, so the topic of tonight is what else did Mom get? The topic of the day is what are you guys most interested in seeing for the spring game? What will you be watching for? I'll get to mine at the end, but let's go ahead and talk to each other. So I got an offensive line, North Fresh. What are you most interested in looking at? What is drawing your attention the most? What the hell do you want to see from the Canes in the spring game and 420 spring game? I know there's one in 2 weeks on the 13th. QB D-line, Big Kane. I'm gonna write this down. I'm gonna write this stuff down as you guys go because I'm going to ask you guys why. And hey, listen, we're also gonna be doing call-in. So I will be doing call-in in about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll be doing call-in. Everything to do with offense. Some Shady Canes is a man. Me and Some Shady Cane can roll both together because we both have the same rhythm. Everything to do with offense. The battle for the number 3 wide receiver should be dope to watch. What up, Mike Will? I know it's been a while since I've been up with you guys. Mike Will, we're asking everybody. The topic of today is what are you most looking forward to see in the spring game? And I'm talking about 420. I will be in Orlando. Me and the wife are coming down there. Got Airbnb. We're going to go down, get our Airbnb, go straight to the game. And then afterwards, we're going to grab some drinks. I want to see, Jose said, I want to see how the O-line competes against our fronts. Anthony, Slapping, can you please read my comment from before? Let me shoot back up. I got you, Anthony. All right. Anthony, the first comment I'm running across is North Fresh. Do you think the Canes have a chance at DJ UA? I'm going to give him a nickname, committing to us. That is from Anthony. A direct question to North Fresh. Anthony, is that the question you are talking about? Nessa Silvera. Some Shady Kane says top 3 running backs are locked. Osborne, Jeff Thomas, Mike Harley. I agree, and fucking agree. Let me give you something interesting. And shout out to everybody just joining the stream. Please like, subscribe, comment, thumbs up. We're going to try to get to 1,000 subscribers before June, which is my birthday, because I want to have a birthday party with you guys, literally in my house. No background. It's going to be open. We're going to be getting fucking lit and drinking. But anyhow, the interesting thing that I saw, and shout out to Michael Irvin, no throat cancer. He's good to go. But the interesting thing I saw was 3 days ago, they talked about Manny D's talking about the tight ends, and he said Irvin the second actually had one of the best days as a tight end this spring so far. Yep, some say the Canes. I agree. Those are the best 3 wide receivers by far. Anthony said that's a quarterback. Another QB. I think it's interesting. I want to talk a little about the quarterback situation today because I'm not gonna say I'm worried, but I will say this. Do we have the full road dogs? If we're good, then yes, I say it'd be no problem. But we got 3 possible starters, 2 5-stars and a 4-star, if I'm correct. Or I know Tate Martell was a 5-star. And I believe Nicosi, I think Jared Williams was a 5-star coming out of Georgia as well. But either way, all 3 of them could start. I'm fine with any of them. Some Shady Kane says ride with number 5. I'm down. All right. Williams was a 4-star. Yes, he's out of Georgia. Ooh. Some Shady Canes, what do you think about this? Mike Will said, not Mike Harley, but Brian Hightower. Interesting. Brian Hightower, he's definitely taller than Mike Harley, but Mike Harley been having a great spring to start off with. You know what's interesting? Have you guys been watching the have y'all been watching the interviews from All Canes Access? Put a 1 in chat if you actually have seen any of the interviews. I agree. Harley and JT4 are similar talents. CJ Mommy Kane said, yes, he has been watching those. Here's my thing. One thing I noticed from this season that I have not seen since Miami, some Shady Canes, he's a diehard. He watched on. Some Shady Canes, tell me if you agree. One thing that I have noticed is how can I say this? I don't want to say the facial responses, but the way the players look in interviews, the way the coaches look in interviews, they are freaking happy. Yes, they're working harder than they have in the last 3 years. They are working harder in the weight room than they have in the last 3 years. They got a new offensive playbook, which is completely bananas. I'm so excited about that. Motion. I've seen something about 2 tight ends. That's on State of the U right now. That was not written by Cam Underwood. That was Evan Hadrick. But I will say the players are excited. Thank you. Some Shady Kane says that's what I was trying to say. Everybody looks excited. Everybody looks like they want to freaking be there. Go back to the Virginia game. Honestly, you could probably go back a couple games before that. Them players didn't look excited. Them coaches didn't look excited. Manny Diaz didn't have a smile on his face before the camera even started rolling. This is what they looked like last year. Well, you know, we got a lot of things to go wrong. Let me tell you what they look like this year. So just look at the thumbnail. They're all like this. Mike Harley, look at it. He's just smiling. They asked him. Brevin Jordan. Pickney. I mean, and another thing that I've noticed is that the inside of the Canes, the only people I haven't seen them interview is any of the quarterbacks. Am I the only one? Hey, Mike would know this. Anthony would know this. Some Shady Canes, North Fresh. I haven't seen any quarterback interviews, but everybody looks excited to be there. All the boys are lit. I got rum in this guy. Yeah, I know I get lit. I got my beer in this one. Yeah, I haven't seen any quarterbacks talking yet. Some say the Canes, Mike Will said it, North Fresh said it. Anybody, if you guys know anything that I do not know everything. I know you guys think I'm a freaking genius, but I'm not all that great. Let me tell you something. I have not seen any quarterback interviews. They have not interviewed them. They've interviewed everybody else. I know Zach McLeod is hurt, so he has not been practicing. But Pickney and Quarterman have been on their game. CJ Miami Cam says 0. Am I burning? Elliott, I am not burning as of right now, but guarantee I will. They need to concentrate on the playbook, not interviews. Big Kane, I understand that, but like I said, I don't really think that's this. The interviews are usually after practice, and so I think that everybody that's the same thing that anybody could do those interviews after practice, and not say that they're not focusing on the playbook, but I mean, you haven't seen any interviews, so I think it's a good thing. Our quarterbacks are focusing. Look, everybody's still on loud. Yeah, I'm from Seattle, Washington. You already know that. Born in Spokane, though. Okay, back to my topic. What are you guys most interested? You know what? Let me stop right there. Who is going to the spring game? Just give me a going if you're going to the spring game. I just want to know. I might be wearing the old school Santana. All right, we're gonna have to just calls. Yeah. I'm about to put a number in the chat for some calling. I think Bandy and Blades are gonna show out. I agree with both of those. Ellie, you're in Georgia. I live right next to Kansas State University. Big Kane said returning. Bandy is a dog. Outblazed, man, has been shining. Another one. Bethel's been shining. Ray, what's happening, man? Anybody that is, I agree. I think it'll be Tate Martell, but you know what? Whoever can win that battle between Jaron Williams, Tate Martell, and N'Kosi Perry, I'm down with. I think all of them are good enough. Yeah, good. Dude, matter of fact, I watched the clip before I got on live, and N'Kosi Perry even looked like he's gotten bigger since we got the new strength coach. All right, look, I'm going to let some people call in. I'm going to let you guys talk. I'm going to sit back, listen, and drink. How does that sound? Yeah, our Blaze is a beast. All right, here we go. Oh, sorry about that. I shook the whole damn camera. Let me get my phone ready. You already know what it is. I don't even play, boy. I don't play whatsoever. Yeah, our strength and conditioning coach how these boys getting proper. I think, man, they're going to be beasts. Excuse me, boy. All right, volume is up. The number is going in chat. There it is. I'm about to drink, man. I got like 2 cups. All that. Them boys from the U is about to be stupid. I think Brevin Jordan's going to be a beast too. North Fresh. I think people are underestimating how much talent we got from the transfer transfer portal alone. And I think they're also underestimating the fact that we got a whole new offensive staff. And not just regulars. We got coaches that are doing the damn thing. Cam Harris became formerly Cam Harris. Now he is known as Cam Davis. He had a name change. Yeah, he's gonna be a beast. He looks nasty out there. Y'all go ahead and hit me up in chat. Go ahead and give me a number. What up, Harold? 470-422-0060. I got a 305 number. Oh, it's Anthony. I told you, if you guys give me your info, I will add you to my text message. So, what up, Anthony? What's happening, G?
Hey, what's up? My low-key concern is our defensive backfield. Is we didn't have to worry about that when Mike MJ was here.
True.
So with our core, I trust is it Bandy? TV? Trajan?
Oh, Trajan Bandy. Yeah, Trajan Bandy.
I trust him, but I don't trust these kids to do well because they don't have any experience playing at all. Because we had Michael Jackson there, and honestly, the guy I really want to watch is Bubba. Bubba, the guy we got from USC or the community college.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
Do
I can see him playing free safety too. I think our cornerbacks are on lock right now, but I think Bubba Bolden, once he gets to campus, I think strong safety is where he's going to end up landing.
So you don't think he has the athleticism? You don't think he's fast enough to play the same position that who was it? Jaquan played.
Jaquan Johnson?
Yeah,
I think he can play that position. He's actually taller by about 3 inches, 4 inches. Let me think.
He's 6'4", 220.
All right, so he's actually way taller than Jaquan Johnson was. I think Jaquan Johnson in the combine, they got him at like 5'10", not very big at all. Let me think. 4.25. So that means we're going to have 3 cornerbacks and 2 safeties, and one of those is going to be a striker. I think he's going to end up being a strong safety, to be honest with you.
You don't think he's athletic enough to reach that rover position that Jaquan has, where he was able to set up the defense and stuff like that? You don't think he can do that, or do you think realistically he's better at staying at strong safety?
Honestly, I mean, with the 4-2-5 defense, technically he will be in that position. He'll be the striker or the rover. So yeah, no, I think he definitely can do it. The only thing I'm gonna have on him is because he's finishing up graduating from the junior college so he's coming in late. Like, he's not even on campus yet, so that's gonna be the only drawback. But let me think. If I break down the names, you got Al Blades, you got Amari Carter, you got Trajan Bandy,
Gervin Hall.
Yep, Gervin Hall, Amari Carter. So yeah, I mean, honestly, the only drawback on him is going to be the fact he's coming in late, so he might. The striker position is difficult just for the fact that you got to know a lot of stuff and many different positions. I mean, you're an outside linebacker / strong safety, so that he's just going to be behind the wheel. But do I think he has the talent? Absolutely.
Yeah, and what my other low-key concern is the linebackers, to be honest. Once these 3 guys, Pickney, McLeod, and
Quarterman, Shaq Quarterman.
SQ and these other two guys leave, I'm scared that we're not going to have experience at the linebacker position and stuff like that. And who, in your opinion, who do you want us to recruit for the quarterback, like at safety, or do you want us to recruit taller safety? When you look at our defense, our defense doesn't care about height and stuff, or when it comes to the safety position, you rather have them tall, like 6'3", 6'4", and stuff like that?
All right, so that's a double-sided question. Strong safeties, because they're mainly hitters, I don't mind if they're shorter. So a Jaquan Johnson size, I'm fine with that. But at the same time, for my free safeties, because they're normally the ones that are in cover one and they're the last line of defense, I like the tall guys.
So you like the Ed Reed size,
strong safeties. Yeah, absolutely. I love that Sean Taylor size strong safety because they come in, sometimes they guard tight ends, but also they blitz a lot. I like them to be a little bit shorter, and I like my free safeties because their last line of coverage is over the top. I like them to be a little taller. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like Ed Reed was like, isn't he like 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", or was he like 6'4"? Can't remember.
That is good. I think he was more on the shorter side, to be honest with you.
And that's a good. This is another question. You being a Hurricane fan, do you think Ed Reed's a first ballot Hall of Famer, or do you think he's going to be on the second ballot? He's not going to be like Ray Lewis, where Ray was first ballot Hall of Famer and stuff like that.
Well, Avery got in this year. Slim Shady Kane said Avery was 5'9". I'm pretty sure this was his first, maybe it was his second year. But Ed Reed, actually, he's nominated this year. He got in this year. I mean, Ed Reed.
No, that's weird. I've always thought Avery was taller than 5'9". On TV, he looks taller than he actually is.
Honestly, Miami's had a history of having short DBs, but they're super freaking fast. And some Shady Kane said, yes, Ed Reed got in on his first ballot. So, which made sense. I mean,
do you think Sean Taylor, even though his career was shortened, do you think he's going to be posthumously awarded a Hall of Fame?
I don't know, man. NFL is kind of tricky when it comes to that. I don't think so. Even though his life was cut short, I just don't think that that's something they're going to do.
That's kind of unfair. It wasn't his fault. I understand if it was a guy whose career ended because of, like, injuries and stuff like that, but it wasn't technically his fault that this happened. So,
oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, granted, that was a whole girlfriend situation, a whole bunch of BS. But yeah, like some Shady King says, unfortunately, no. I mean, he just did not have enough. Jose said Sean Taylor was actually 6'2". So yeah, Sean Taylor was 6'2". Ed Reed was 5'11" in cleats. You know what? I would love to see him get in just for the fact, but yeah, Northfresh said NFL won't budge. I mean, and again, he's a Miami guy, so we get hated on the most. I mean, we're actually surprised that even Tate Martell got his eligibility, which took forever.
I don't like Tate. He's overrated to me, honestly.
Okay, well,
I'd rather have Kosi as a starting quarterback, to be honest.
Okay, so you're a Kosi fan. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I was team Kosi all last year. I want him to start every game. I mean, granted, he was not the best. He had some off the field issues, which he's young. I'm cool with that. I don't really give a damn. But he was also going against Malik Rozier, and if you compared it to,
he's a college kid.
Yeah.
A 19-year-old kid. What do you expect? He can't make. You can't expect him not to make dumb mistakes like that. Posting stuff on YouTube and on Facebook or social media.
Yeah, Instagram, something like that. Yeah, that's not a good look. And I think quarterback position for the university, I think quarterback position, period, is a coveted position. And you have to carry yourself above and beyond. I mean, let's just look at Johnny Manziel, for instance, right? Awesome on the field. but he couldn't handle himself. And then let's just look at my boy Michael Irvin or any of the cocaine cowboys. I hate to use that phrase, but if you look at them, none of them were quarterbacks that had any issues, and it was no big deal. So if you play quarterback, there's just going to be a higher level expectation. And let's just be real, Manny Diaz is not playing that. And be honest, Mark Rick wasn't even playing it. You know, so
No, I just honestly, Mark Rick was a little too, like, honestly, I understand he came from Miami, but that whole, like, straight leg thing, for some odd reason, didn't fit with the personality of the players, to be honest. The players that were on the team. He was so, like, uptight. You understand what I'm saying? Like that uptight personality.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give you, I wouldn't use the word uptight. I mean, he's an
old school guy.
He's old school, but he's not old school on the fact of the on the hands of in your face. When you're dealing with players, and I tell my fiance this all the time, shout out to Amanda Bishop, she's put some in chat. I say this all the time. When you're dealing with players that live a hard life, you need an in-your-face coach. Mark Rick is not that. Hey, there's nothing against him for that. I don't think that what his problem was at Miami. I think his problem was the play calling, and his inability to change things. I mean, the players are raving right now about there's motion in the offense. Think about the last time you seen a player of Miami run in motion and do anything. I can't remember. I say 3 years, but
the last time I saw that was the Larry Coker era during like the
exactly
during the 2001 when we won the national championship and then we lost the second one to Ohio State.
Well, actually, we won that game in Ohio State, and I don't care what anybody says. If you go watch it, they threw the flag like the confetti was already coming down, so they stole that one from us. But yes, you're absolutely right. That those teams 01, 02, 03, that would have been a dynasty in its own. The only thing that Miami had issue with that is because all the coaches that we had all decided to go NFL. And so that made a little change in things, but they cheated us on that one. So
I think the perfect coach, honestly, that was perfect for us was Jimmy Johnson because he understood half the kids that were in the inner city, to be honest, because he grew up with him being the old. Did you ever see the documentary, the first University of Miami documentary, 30 for 30?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I've seen all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. He said the reason why these kids were able to get along with it because he understood the fact that he was the only one in his family to get a college degree and stuff like that. And half of these kids who came from the inner city were like that, where they were the first people in their families to get a college degree and stuff like that. So when it comes to that, I think it's hard for a person like Mark Rick because I don't think he grew up in an environment where you grew up had to like fight for stuff. So like being the first person in your family to go in what is it called? Going to college and stuff, Division I college or something like that.
Yeah. The first to get a type of scholarship and even have an opportunity to go and better themselves. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, we've had some downfalls up and down. I mean, like I said, a lot of people on the outside looking in have no idea the amount of sanctions and penalties that Miami went through, how we didn't have any scholarships. I mean, I think until like 3 years ago, we still weren't at 100% able to give players scholarships. So we had a lot of walk-ons and D3 players, and I think as time gets better and as we get better, all that's going to change. I mean, our 22.
Are we still limited on scholarships, by the way?
No. I think last year or the year before, someone actually informed me on this one. Last year or the year before, we got all our scholarships back. So literally for a decade, we were at 55, and I think we're back to whatever it is, 72, 73. So.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was wondering because I'm not sure. I with the whole like what's happening with Florida State now, not with the sanctions, but with having a horrible coach, is what we've had before Mark Richt. At least Mark Richt, the only good thing Mark Richt did was be able to bring us an indoor practice facility, so we don't have to worry about canceling practices because of the rain.
Yeah, someone else said that they respect Mark Richt for the fact that he brought a player in. It was Jared Willis after he had some issues. I definitely agree with the fact that having an indoor practice facility, and Mark Richt dropped $1 million in that. So that's not, I mean, I don't care who you are. That's not petty change. I mean, unless you're like Warren Buffett or somebody, but you know how, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not petty change. He dropped $1 million and now the players, I mean, they talk about all the time, KJ Osborne, it'd be midnight and KJ Osborne's catching passes from the jug machine. You don't have to go and get somebody to unlock the doors and cut on the lights on the outdoor field, and you can work out whenever you want to. You can catch jugs whenever you want to. That's a big thing. I mean, I posted it about 2 months ago in the stream chat, and I said, yes, receivers' number one job is to catch the ball, but our receivers last season looked like they were not on jug machines, and now you see it. I mean, you see all the CANES access. They literally are jug machines. Like, people are just, they're in there just doing it, and KJ Osborne started the trend, and then now all the receivers are in there getting their work in. I think our Miami Hurricane, shout out to Miami Hurricane trainers, and most of them are females. They're out there doing their thing. They're out there because they're getting put to work now. They're on those jug machines just pumping them balls out, and it's awesome. So, yeah, I mean.
And honestly, not with the jug machine specifically, we need to teach our tight ends to put, I think in this offense as well, I think we're going to have to teach our tight ends to block. Like, now, I know these two guys are mainly receiving ends, but you need to be able to, like, block as well, because I saw some of his and Enos' offense at
Arkansas, yeah.
Yeah, he ran the ball a ton. So the tight ends he had were able to block, even though they were mainly receiving tight ends. He caught these kick block. I think with that, with the offensive guy, the offensive line guy, I think he's going to be able to teach these receiving tight ends how to block, be an overall tight end, like Rob Gronkowski, like where he's a receiving tight end mainly, but he knows how to block.
Yeah, I mean, with this spread coast, actually, and there's a post on State of the U right now where it says that Miami possibly will be running some formations where you have two tight ends. The only thing that actually is technically able to work with the rules of the game is one of them has to block. You can't have two tight ends go out on a route because, you know, one of them has to be an offensive lineman. So, I mean, that's pretty interesting. Say it again. Yeah. Yeah, I honestly don't think that we'll ever run three. I mean, our two right now, Brevin Jordan, which my thing right now with him and Tate Martell, their connection and the way they know each other and grew up together, I think that's going to be a big plus. But it doesn't necessarily mean like that's the only way that Brevin Jordan will be a beast on the field. But at the same time, with Brevin Jordan and Michael Irvin second, I think you can have both of both. And Irvin, I believe, and somebody can correct me if I am wrong, but Irvin is bigger. So, I mean, I think that would be dope.
Yeah, Irvin is like 6'3", 250 or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, he's a big boy.
I think it's like, yeah, the guy I'm really excited for is Will Mallard, because I look at his tape, he reminds me a lot of Jeremy Shockey when Jeremy Shockey was at Miami.
Yeah.
He looks like Jeremy Shockey, like a miniature Jeremy Shockey. Or, no, he looks like Greg Olsen, which is ridiculous because Greg Olsen is really good.
I mean, honestly, honestly, for about a decade, Miami had produced the best tight ends in all of football, with the exception of, let me see. with the exception of
Ben Watson, did he go to Miami or was he a Gator?
who?
You want Benjamin Watson, the guy who used to play for the Patriots?
No, he didn't go to Miami. I know. I was thinking of Ron Gronkowski. Of course, he didn't go to Miami, and the other one, Aaron Hernandez, did not go to Miami. He went to Florida. But for the most part, in the last 10, 15, actually, we got to go back. I'm old, so I always shorten my numbers. But in the last 15 years, Shockey, Jimmy Graham, Greg Olsen, thank you. Yeah, all these Hall of Famers. So Miami literally has produced 4 or 5 Hall of Fame tight ends in that span of time. And to be honest with you, I think Brevin Jordan might be the next one. So I mean, I'm just gonna be real with you. I think that he's better than Irvin, and but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Irvin just didn't have that grind because, I mean, let's just keep it real. His dad is Michael Irvin, so I mean,
this is what I hated about him. They expected to be him like him to be like his dad, and when you look at his tape, he played nothing like his dad. He was more of a. His dad was. Would you say his dad was a speed receiver?
No, Michael Irvin is 100% completion. Michael Irvin wasn't gonna burn you, but he runs some nasty routes. I mean, you put him on a post or a post corner. Michael Irvin, honestly, if you look over his career, he didn't run a lot of slants, but he was on the outside. But he was that guy that if you get the ball in some type of window, he's going to catch it. So that was Irvin. I mean, Irvin's swag and personality, but you got to think about this, though. You're talking about 20 years ago compared to now. Michael Irvin had to work for what he got. His son doesn't have to. His dad is Michael Irvin. So, I mean, that's
what I'm saying. Like, but people, when we got him to sign with us, expected to be like his father. But when you look at the team coming out of high school, he played nothing like his dad. Which is, this I hate it. When you have a second generation kid who goes to the same school, and these fans expect them to be like their parents, and when you look at their tape, they don't play nothing like their parents. They're trying to be their own people. And they want to have their own style of play, but fans expect them to be like Michael Irvin. They're expecting him to play like his father, which he does not play like his dad.
Well, I mean, that you're absolutely right on that. And a couple people said it. Jose just said Michael Jordan kids sucked. I mean, yeah, but here's the thing though, it's a different time period. I mean, kids back then, especially kids from the inner city, they were working to get their grandmothers and mothers and all 12 of their siblings out of a single family room, literally a room. We got 12 people sleeping on the floor. So the grind was different then. Nowadays, kids don't have that grind, especially kids that parents have already made it. So, it's we can't really blame the kids for the fact that they don't have the same hunger. Our parents said the same shit about us. My dad said the same thing. My dad and his 2 brothers were Kentucky All-Americans all 4 years in high school. They were Miss All-Americans. They were Mr. United States football players. Same thing. When I went to college and when I went to high school when I played, I had a little chip on my shoulder because I thought I was better than most because of where I came from. So, I can't blame them because they're not as hungry or they play difference. And here's my second thought. Also, you got to think about it. Football has changed so much in the fact that it was so aggressive back then. 20 years ago, you could knock the teeth out of somebody and not get a flag. Now you can't even touch a quarterback's socks and pull them down without getting a flag or possibly getting kicked out of a game. So, that does affect,
Example, like how the safeties and corners play. Remember in the 80s, rated for the team in the league. Their corners were super physical. You were able to grab the receivers, like knock them down on their butt before they even did their routes. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah, you can't do it anymore. I mean, the game of football has changed so much that it literally, if you're on offense and defense, the game is catered to the fact that if you have speed and agility, you can win most battles. Now, back then, though, no. I mean, our tight ends, the tight ends back then, I mean, they would knock the snot out of you. Crack blocks, going down the line, just finding the first player with the other jersey and knocking them out was completely legit and completely illegal, or completely legal. So, it's a different game nowadays, but I won't hold this against young players because, they're living in the times that they're living in. Same thing with social media. It's different times.
Do you think the physical? Do you think it's ever gonna get eventually? Is there a way you can play safe but play physical as well? Is there a way you can do both at the same time?
Let me think. Defensive wise, no. Right now, they've made defensive wise a trash talking sport. It's not even hand to hand combat. It used to be body to body combat, and then it was hand to hand combat in the 2000s. Before 2010, let's say 2010. I'm just gonna give you a random number. But no, nowadays there really is no way to come back. I mean, if you're on defense, there's no way to show that you're that aggressive for the most part, unless you're going to be a player like an Ndamukong Suh or, somebody that feels like it's okay to get that penalty. But most players, they're not going to make that risk because every hit and every time that they're on the bench jeopardizes their paycheck. It wasn't that in our parents' age, so I mean, as of right now, football is just not going to be what it was, with and granted, it's a good reason why, with all the concussions and, the players that get out at 35 and they can't even get a damn job, they can't walk or they're on pills, it's understandable, but football will never, in my eyes, go back to what it was, just for the fact that, I mean, the culture is so aware. I mean, there's cameras everywhere, there's microphones everywhere, there are doctors everywhere. Everything is more transparent than it was years ago. I mean, think about it. When our parents watched football and somebody got their bell rung, which when I grew up in my household, getting your bell rung wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but nowadays that's true, but you got to think about this, though. There's one thing keeping your head up if you're a close-to-close combat, but if you're a free safety running from 20 yards in the backfield all the way up to the line of scrimmage or pass on a blitz, you're running at full speed. That's like you driving your car at full speed and someone expecting you to hit the brakes and turn right and stop on a dime. That's what they're asking these players to do, and it just – that's just these players run 4.3s, 4.4s. I mean, even if you're on a 4.5, 5.0 now, that's really hard to do. So football won't.
You don't think it's ever going to be? There's no way you can play both physical and safe at the same time. So not like back to the 80s and 90s where there was no penalty pass interference calls, but at least play a little bit, teach these kids to play physical, but you're playing safe, teaching you to keep your head up and how to tackle and stuff. So you don't think. So you don't think it's ever going to happen?
I don't, and I'll give you one reason why. The reason why is because players now are faster and stronger than we ever were back when we played, and we were bigger, stronger, and faster than our parents were. That's like taking a Miata M5 and driving down the road hitting the brakes. And these players are Porsches, Corvettes, Mustangs, and Camaros driving fast and hitting the brakes. They can hit the brakes, but it's not, what I'm saying? It's just not. Exactly. I mean, there's just no sugarcoating around it. These players are way faster. I mean, my son, he's 10 years. He's about to be 10 years old. I'm training to be a quarterback. The boy is faster than I was at 10. When I graduated high school, I ran a 4.5, 6, 40 wide receiver, 200 pounds. I benched 3 something, and I squatted 6. And I'm telling you, these kids now are faster, stronger. The plyometrics is better. I mean, you got to think, man, it's a runaway train, a runaway train, and you're trying to get them to do what things were done in the past. Back in those days when NFL was at its strength, or college was at its strength, the best players, they ran 4.3s, 4.4s of that nature, but the majority of players were still average. Nowadays, the majority of the players, I don't care if you're a defensive lineman or any skilled player, they're running a 4.7 or a 4.9 or faster. I mean, they got 4.4 defensive linemen right now. So think about it. You're running a 4.7, 4.4 and you weigh 300 pounds. I weigh 260 and I'm 6'4" right now. If you asked me to run full pace and stop on a dime, I would look like Zion Williamson ripping out of his Nike shoe. And that's just what it is.
Yeah. And honestly, for some reason, I was reading an article talking about this. For some reason, they feel that there has to be something physically happening with these kids. It's not that they're taking steroids. Do you think it's a steroid thing that these kids are getting bigger and faster, or is it just a natural progression thing?
No, it's a natural progression. It's evolution. I mean, you just got to think about it, watching football 100 years ago, and these dudes they had leather helmets on, right? Think about that, and you watch them, right? They look mad fucking slow, okay? And just think about the natural progression. Granted, I mean, we put all types of stuff in our food. I mean, we put steroids in our chicken and things like that. I mean, I don't want to put this in a nasty way, but go look at your sisters. Look at your sisters. I got 2 girls. I look at my daughters, and they are under 10 years old, and the things that they have on their bodies was not even thought of when I was in middle school 20 years ago. So it's that, but also we are progressively growing as a culture. I mean, it's evolution. We get smarter, we get faster, we get stronger, and so these things can be helped and they can't be judged. The thing the NFL did and college football did that made an evolution in the game, especially for health reasons, was the slow motion camera. Even if you think about technology, I am a film director. They shoot this stuff not at 60 frames per second. Most videos are shot at 30 frames per second. They shoot this stuff at like 400 frames per second. That's 450 pictures per second. You can slow stuff down to the minuteness of anything. And you know what they're finding out is that we look as fast at higher frame rates as we did at 8 frames per second or 8 gigs or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's just that it's evolution. I mean, everything grows, everything gets stronger. In football, any sport will never be back to what it was in its original, because as a human race, we are getting better. We're getting stronger. We know what plyometrics is. I know how to put my son through cardio training. I know how to get him on a rope and a ladder and run through drills and to do suicides and all stuff. My parents weren't doing that. I didn't do any training when I was growing up. Granted, my father was an All-American in the United States of America, but it's different. So
The reason why I asked about the steroids is you look at a sport like baseball, why is that football doesn't have that problem, but you see baseball, is it because baseball is a lot slimmer? That's why they have to constantly take these human growth hormones to stay healthier and stuff because they have a longer season, or is it more because baseball didn't have stricter rules about steroids like football did?
Okay, so baseball's different. So football is not a contact sport, it's a collision sport. Baseball is a very precise sport. Baseball as a let me call it a regular sport, right? So I'm going to put hockey, baseball, football, basketball, and soccer in that, and rugby and lacrosse. I'm going to put those in that regular stuff, right? And then my B sports will be golf, tennis, polo, things like that, right? So if that makes it a separation, right?
Yeah, like horse racing and stuff.
Exactly, right? The difference is Baseball is more about your accuracy and precision than it is about your speed and your inertia. To say, like, for instance, I can take a 5-pound bowling ball, right? I can roll it down the hill right now. I'm 265 pounds. I can roll down the hill for 10 seconds and try to grab it. It's going to be hard. But if I roll it on a flat surface, it'll be easier to grab. That's the difference between your A sports and your B sport. Football is an A sport. You take a Marshawn Lynch and you make him run 10, 15 steps before he hits the line of scrimmage. It doesn't matter who's in front of him. That impact and that inertia is going to be ridiculous. So that's the difference. Baseball is.
Why you don't see any more like multi-sport athletes like Steve, Deion Sanders, or Brian Jordan or anything like that?
No. I won't say that. I think quarterbacks. I mean, Kyler Murray, Patrick Mahomes. I think quarterbacks. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I believe that even Tom Brady played some baseball. I might be wrong. I'm not a Brady fan, but I think quarterbacks, that's a little different thing because they're throwing the ball. I know, and I have some relatives that are baseball players. They can throw a baseball and they can throw a football equivalently as fast and as accurate. But I think when you come to the collision part of the game, so for instance, when it comes to a tackler, a running back, even a wide receiver, if you're talking about hockey, a hockey player, that's a little bit different. But if you're talking about can you cross over, I think quarterback can cross over in any genre of sports. And I think basketball players, for the most part, can probably do anything. I mean, you can look at LeBron James, you can look at Zion Williams, you can look at a couple other players, you can be like, man, he could be a good-ass tight end.
No, so you think there's in this era, eventually, you think there's going to be a player like the Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, or Brian Jordan, where they were able to play both sports at the same time, back to back?
Well, professionally?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. When you talk about professionally, I say no because it's a money business. But if I push the money to the side, I'll give you 3 names right now. Russell Wilson, my quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks. He can play pitcher. He's a pitcher. Kyler Murray, which got 2. Well, he's about to be 2 and Patrick Mahomes. All 3 of those could be first round draft picks in both sports. But any other athlete like Deion, no. I mean, Deion was an awesome hitter. Bo Jackson was an awesome hitter. Deion, of course, played DB and punt return, kick return. Bo Jackson was a running back, and I think he did some kick return in the beginning of his career. But the big
Brian Jordan, the guy from Atlanta, played for the Braves in the 90s.
Jordan did do that as well. And of course, yeah, and Deion and Ken Griffey did it too. I mean, what do you say?
What position did Brian
He was a
Jordan play?
safety. No, I think he was a safety. You know, he might have been a receiver. That's a good question. I know he's a Braves fan, so I mean, he played with the Braves. Let me think. I think Brian Jordan might have been either he was a receiver, he was a safety. I can see that. But when you talk about your
any other position besides quarterback would be able to play both ways. Like, you don't think safeties in this era or cornerback, defensive back specifically, would be able to cross over to sports sport like baseball, playing the outfield? Oh, you said Kyler Murray. He was in the top. He got drafted in the top 10 by the Oakland Athletics.
Oakland A's, yeah. Yeah, he got drafted 8th.
The first person to be drafted in the top 10 by 2 different sports.
Yes, but he's also a quarterback. So, like I said, when you talk about pitch, and he's a good hitter. Don't get me wrong, though. But like I said, I mean, when you are talking about that, no, I don't see it anymore. And I won't say it because of talent wise, but I will say majority of it to me is for the fact that it's a monetized sport. It's money, man.
So, and baseball, I think it has, the reason why you don't see that anymore is baseball is a high-paid sport in the U.S. you see these contracts in baseball, again, like that football. Football is the closest to us when it comes to price tag with baseball. But baseball, you see the crazy contracts these people signing, like $200-300 million.
Yeah, I think we're at 430 is the highest contract right now in baseball. Baseball's a little different. There's no salary cap. I mean, I can get into a whole spiel on why baseball is a different ball game, why baseball players in college are allowed to sign with a agent and get drafted and still play in college in different sports. I really can get into that on another stream, but I won't dive too much into that. As far as the monetized part, but like I said, quarterbacks, yes. I mean, yes, I can say some safeties, especially with defense, because they can't do the hitting that they used to back in the day. I can see why that would be possible, but for the most part, you're talking about maybe 1 or 2 players a decade. I mean, back in our days, we had Bo Jackson, we had Deion, we had Ken Griffey Jr., and then we had Brian Jordan, and then now we got Kyler Murray, and I'll go ahead and put Patrick Mahomes in there, and I'll put Russell Wilson in there. And if you really want to get on your whistle, I'll throw Tim Tebow in there. He's a Florida Gator, but I got respect for that man. See, hey, Tebow do his thing. But yeah, be honest with you though, that's pretty much what it is. You're not gonna see that crossover as much as you used to. And be honest with you, if my son was great in baseball and in football, and he asked me, the football lover, what should he do as a professional, I would tell him one of 2 things: either play baseball or either go and golf, because you can do that shit until you're 50 and be a pro. That's my answer.
Yeah, I agree with you. With football, the position that scares me the most is running backs, because they're getting hit constantly. They don't have a longevity.
Yeah, but some Shady Kane just said it though. Baseball ain't got no salary cap.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy. What up, Coach Mike?
You see that as catcher, because you're constantly getting run over. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's like I said, that's an interesting topic. I would love to touch on that another day. I do got another call coming in, but Anthony, are you coming to the game? Are you going to be in Orlando for the spring game?
That's too far for me. And do you know if it's going to be on TV this year? For yesterday, they announced that it's going to be on ESPN or like Fox Sports Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Say again. Hello? I lost you again. What'd you say?
Do you know if the game is going to be on TV this year? Do you think it's going to be on Fox Sports Florida?
I am not sure. I am kind of hoping that it won't be. Not that I think it really matters, because teams are so underestimating us and stuff. So I don't think it'll really matter, but I will be there live. So I will be doing some clips and stuff. Yeah. And I'm actually going to interview. Yeah, I'll be at the spring game. I'm not sure if we're going to Orlando. Literally, that's like a month and a half before we get married. So I'm not sure if we're gonna go down to the Florida game. But thank you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know what? You know, she's a big supporter of this page, man, and she's the one that's made it able for me to do all the stuff I am able to do and not worry about it. I don't even stress about it. All this stuff that I buy and stuff. She's like, yeah, buy it. You should see what I just bought. I just bought like so much new stuff. It's ridiculous. But
by the way, thank you for allowing. I'm gonna hang out. Thanks for talking to me for this song. I know you have another couple. They're probably mad by now. So.
Oh no, it's all good. Hey, but no doubt, man. I appreciate Anthony. And we also, before I go down to Florida, so I'm gonna do another live stream, and we're gonna bring this topic up again, what everybody wants to see for the spring game. And then also we're gonna try to get up and figure out an idea so we can get some drinks. So I appreciate it. Yes, that was Anthony on the chat. Man, there's been so much good stuff going on through chat real quick. Some Chitty Canes, go ahead and call me back. Man, it's been crazy, dope, and crazy busy. It's your boy Dirt Chill SlappinTV. Just to let you guys know, I have upgrade stuff. I know it's been a while since I've done like regular chats, but that shit is over. It is time for the game. This is my boy right here. What up, though? It's your boy Direct Chill SlappinTV.
What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on? Slim Shady?
Yes, sir.
What's happening, man? The guru, man. Tell me what you gotta say, man. I love it.
I don't think I'd call myself a guru, but I know a little bit.
Most definitely. Most people call you a guru. Everybody knows you in the circle.
I've been watching football my whole life. I just make a few observations.
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What, first off, let me ask you first. CANES, what are you looking forward to in the spring game?
The spring game, and really through the spring in general, I'm not looking for too much. Because the offense is still going to look very rough because it's a whole new offense being installed. So I don't think anything is going to look that great. I think they may run some basic stuff in all the scrimmages to make it look good. My personal preference,
okay,
because I think quarterback is so much of a key role. I want to see one quarterback lead the offense. A different quarterback lead the offense in each scrimmage. So
okay.
Give Tate the first scrimmage. Give Williams the second scrimmage. Give Perry the spring game.
Okay, so let me ask you. Do you have a preference on who you want, or you just want the best quarterback to take the job? I mean, who are you on a certain team? I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't biased, and anybody would. Obviously, I want the best player to win. My personal opinion, I just think it's going to be Perry.
Okay, I mean, like I said, you know me, I was Team Perry all last year. I think the thing I said was his only downfall is he's the only Miami quarterback that we actually saw any footage on. I mean, granted, Tate Martell did a couple of things against Rutgers and all that. And granted, Rutgers is a better team than Virginia was. And
Florida State, they were at 20-point hole. And Perry dug them. They stuck with Perry. Perry dug them out of it.
That's facts. That's facts. Do you think anything that he had off the field would make you think any different?
No, because I don't really too much care what an 18, 19-year-old is posts on Instagram or what the hell ever. I don't care.
Okay. I mean, I feel you on that most definitely. I mean, I'm at this point right now where like I think that whoever wins out of the three would definitely be willing to take the job. Would you be disappointed in any of the three if they got the job? And for what reason?
Not at all. I wouldn't have a problem if any of them got the job. Now, my personal preference, I prefer a pocket passer. So, you know, really, I should lean towards Jared because he's the pocket passer of the bunch.
True, he is.
So he's listed as a dual threat. He's more of what they turned Russell Wilson into.
Yep.
What Aaron Rodgers is. He's move the pocket, get away from pressure, but he's still going to pass the ball, and he's going to take off just as an absolute last resort.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really looking forward to that. I honestly, I think, I mean, and granted, I think Tate Martell, the reason why, and I can be honest with you, that I kind of lean in his direction, and I think a lot of people in the nation lean in his direction, is because he had that QB1 or whatever it was, and I know that the following year it was Justin Fields or whatever. I think I actually got to see more of what Tate did in high school, and I granted it was high school, but I know a lot of people said that shit.
Here's the thing. Me personally, it doesn't have anything to do with that.
Okay.
The reason a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon for Tate is because he's the shiny new toy. He's the new quarterback on campus.
You know what? I think you're right, Sadie.
But it's true.
I think you're right, Shady. I mean, you're right because I think. I mean, give me about 2 seconds. Let me think in my mind. All right, so yeah, so you're right. Jaron Williams, he's on the team, but he didn't get no love whatsoever. And then everybody else is seeing N'Kosi Perry. He was on the team, and then Coach Mark Richt pulled him. And sorry about that. My wife's trying to hand me my beer. And then so we saw N'Kosi Perry, and then we saw Jaron Williams to get no love. And then you're right, Tate Martell with the shiny new toy. That everybody wants to take a test drive in.
Yep. And if you'll pay attention to everything that's come out this spring, as far as throwing the ball, Tate has looked the worst.
Yeah, I heard his accuracy, and the coaches had to change his throwing motion.
He throws an ugly spiral. It's a wobbly, good God.
Yeah, I was about to say, I heard it wasn't even a spiral. I mean, and I'm just saying, like, from what I've seen and what I heard, they said he got the biggest wobble. They said N'Kosi Perry has got a freaking bullet of an arm.
He does.
But like I said, it comes back to the thing. We actually seen what Perry can do. We don't know shit about Jaron Williams. And honestly, if he doesn't play this year, he's probably going to transfer. He'll probably end up at South Carolina or some Arkansas, some shit like that. But anyhow, that's another stream for another story. But I think the fact that the Virginia game, what do you think about that? Let's focus on that. That was the game we got. He threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter.
He threw 1 interception, and another one was tipped.
That's true. The second one was tipped by a linebacker.
Yeah, and as much as I hated Rozier, I didn't blame him for balls that were tipped or bounced off the receiver's hands or something like that. That's of no fault of the quarterback whatsoever. Yeah, you can't really, and I've been saying this for years. I think they need to add a stat. I was a wide receiver. They need to add a stat for interceptions on the receiver side. So if receiver tips the ball and it gets intercepted, that should go to him and not the quarterback. You know, after the way Pete Wiggins played last year too, they need to add a stat for drop balls.
Man, hey, I can tell you right now, I mean, Georgia Tech seems to be so up in arms about Lawrence Cager right now. The boy had more drops than rain in a fucking hurricane. I mean, the boy dropped a lot of passes.
Lawrence Cager does not play like a 6'5" wide receiver.
He doesn't.
He plays. To be honest with you, he plays like Mike Harley. And Lawrence Cager should win every jump ball.
Easy. What is he? 6'5", 6'8", 6'5"? He's 6'5", right? So, all right. So let's slide on that since we got on the wide receiver tip. What do you think about the receivers? Do you have a top 3? Who do you have starting? I mean, if I say you got 4 wide receivers to start, who you got?
I put it in there earlier. Top 3 to me is obvious, and I think it's pretty well a lock with Osborne, Thomas, and Harley.
I like all 3 of those.
I want to see them do like they should do and alternate out receivers. I want to see every receiver hit the field in the game. Period.
I would love to see that. I mean, I think that our offense, besides quarterbacks, what are you looking the most forward to? Because honestly, for me, it's not any certain position. I'm looking to see what the offense looks like. And granted, we're probably not going to see a ton of that in the spring game. I think it's going to be probably pretty bland, which we said that for the last 3 years with Mark Richt. We're like, oh, he's not going to show us everything. But then we found out that what Mark Richt showed us in the spring game was exactly what he had planned for the 3 years.
Well, everybody seems surprised, okay? Mark Richt stopped calling plays a couple of years after he became Georgia's head coach. Okay.
Yeah, that was forced. They made him.
Mark Richt deciding to come in and call plays again. He is still running the same playbook when he was Florida State's offensive coordinator.
He was actually, I live in Georgia, and I actually talked to some Georgia fans, and they said that the Georgia athletic director made him stop calling plays because they fucking sucked.
Yeah, they made him hire Bobo.
Yeah, that didn't work out good, did it?
I mean, Bobo is just so offensive coordinator. I mean, that's what you get when you let him, when you're taking play calling duties away from the head coach and you tell him to hire an offensive coordinator. He's going to hire an offensive coordinator that runs a system as similar as he can find.
Facts. Yeah, of course. That's his first job, man. You got to butter the biscuit so you can get more to eat. I mean, any man in that position would do that. But I completely agree with you on that one. I mean, I think that was a big downfall. And I tell people all the time that, yes, we were all on Mark. And granted, I was one of those old ass motherfuckers that said I wanted Butch Davis as my head coach before Mark Richt, or I wanted Lane Kiffin. And I'm not even going to lie, and I'm not going to regret saying that, but I wanted a game changer, and I wanted an in-your-face type coach. Hell, I would have took Jimmy Johnson if his old ass would have took off them damn Miami Beach margarita shirts and decided to coach. But that being said,
point in wanting to hire Davis, but look at okay, take this past year, their game against Florida International. They ran the ball 37 times.
yeah.
You really want that offensive line?
I mean, no, but Miami has always been running back committee by committee, and we have always run our strengths on basically. I know everybody says we run an A's, so we run a two back, but majority of the Miami good teams, they were a running back by committee. We ran the ball and we threw the ball to the tight end, which technically is a West Coast offense. So, I mean, I wouldn't have mind running the ball that much, but you can't run the ball if you ain't got an offensive line. Recruiting was atrocious, man.
I think your days of winning a game running the ball 37 times are gone.
Yeah, I agree. Even in NFL, that shit's over with. I mean,
it's gone. Now, I like Butch Davis, but for all the people that wanted Butch Davis as a coach, I mean, do you really think lightning's going to strike twice?
No. I mean, does it ever, be honest with you? I mean, not really.
And I'll be the first to tell you, I like Manny so far. He's done the right things so far, said the right things so far. Both of these, before they hired Mark and before they hired Manny, I was 100% on board with Mario Cristobal. Every step of the way.
You know what?
That was my guy.
That's interesting because I heard a lot of Miami faithfuls say that, and I knew about Mario Cristobal, but I just wasn't 100%. And maybe because I'm a relative type person, I was thinking of, okay, what have you done for me lately, or where have you been? But granted, Mark Richt ain't did shit for a while, and I was okay with that hire. But yeah, the Mario Cristobal thing was interesting. A lot of people, I would say over 50% of the people that didn't either want, which nobody thought we were going to get Mark Richt, but the other 49% that either wanted Butch Davis or Kiffin or whatever, everybody else said Cristobal, and I was like, I wasn't entirely sure, but
Cristobal has head coaching experience. He has gotten tutelage under Nick Saban, recruiter of the year multiple years, and then worked under Willie Taggart for that year at Oregon, and they just plugged him into the head coach when Willie Taggart left.
Yes, that was what I knew about him. And be honest with you, I mean, I hope I don't get no Miami fans pissed off, but I thought that Florida State was going to be good last year. I thought bringing that Oregon offense to a Florida State team that had that much speed, I thought they were going to be phenomenal, and it just didn't work out. What do you think about that? I mean, what do you think went wrong?
What did Willie Taggart really do at Oregon? That was Chip Kelly that went to the playoffs at Oregon.
Yeah, and he was with Chip. He had Chip Kelly's team too when he got there.
Yeah. So I mean, what did Willie Taggart really do? And that's not a knock on Willie. I mean, he may have turned that program around by hiring Kendall Briles this past offseason. we'll wait and see. I don't know.
I've been hearing about that. Well, Florida State fans say that on the Miami FSU Knows Kane page on Facebook. They talk about that, but I'm not impressed whatsoever. I think Dan Enos as an offensive coordinator is a way better hire. What do you think about Enos? You don't like? I mean, I don't know a lot about him.
Caleb Browse was the offensive coordinator at Baylor when RG3 was there.
Which actually kind of fits into the Florida State kind of athletic side, especially when RG3 was there, because he was a fast moving, quick gunner. I don't know. I'm not. You give me a team out of that conference, and you're talking about Oklahoma, Texas, Texas Tech. I'm just not a big fan about what they're working with out there.
Yeah, well, and you also look back to Houston when he was the offensive coordinator at Houston when UCF, Memphis, and Houston were putting up 50, 60 points a game.
That is true. That is true. So that's very interesting. So you think they'll be better than what were they last year? 5-6?
5 and 6. They were 5 and 6. It all depends. I mean, they've had the same problem consistently since what was that? Jimbo Fisher's last year when they opened up the season against Alabama and Francois got hurt.
That was the first year we beat them in a while.
Their offensive line makes ours look good.
Which is kind of crazy situation because, I mean, I am still worried about our offensive line. I think if you have a good offensive line, you can make any running back and any quarterback look good if you can block for them.
Yeah, you really can. I mean, that's part of the reason Trevor Lawrence was as good as he did this past season was because of that offensive line. As good as he is, I mean, best quarterback in the world can't do nothing without an offensive line that'll block for him.
Yeah, I agree with that one. That's true all day. I mean, Clemson is going to be the pinnacle of next year. I think what they did to Alabama this year not only startled everyone, but I think it might have gave them a different scope. Now, granted, it didn't change the power dynamic in the ACC as far as the Power 5, because if you look at the Coastal, which we are in, this one of the worst conferences, one of the worst divisions in college football overall. I mean, we got, honestly, all of us are fighting on that side. Who won it this year? Pitt won it at what, 7-6? You know, so that's,
I think they're 8-4.
oh yeah, so 8-4 would have been right, yeah. So I mean, that's a hard fought battle. Now I do think North Carolina's going to be better. They got Mac Brown, formerly of Texas, and now he was at ESPN for a while. I think that's going to be a good one. Virginia Tech, I think, can be a sleeper team.
I'm going to disagree with you there. There's a reason Mac Brown's been at ESPN for 3-4 years.
Nobody wanted him. I mean, I used to love him at Texas. I mean, he had Vince Young, and you know. I mean, he was average 10 win. Honestly, he was an average 10 win coach.
His day is passing by.
He was a fucking Mark Rick in Texas. He was a guaranteed 9 or 10 win game coach, and honestly couldn't win the big games.
And the only difference between him and Mark Rick, he won a title because he had Vince Young. Mark Rick never got his Vince Young.
True. Which, actually, I don't know though. Mark Rick he had 2 running backs in the Super Bowl this year, and he has 3-4 quarterbacks that are in NFL that are doing somewhat decent.
Yeah, but did they ever sniff a national title game?
Oh hell no. 10 wins, like I said. 10 winning guy. I mean, but
and the problem with Mark Rick at Georgia is every year he would run his running backs into the ground, running one running back all year.
Well, yeah, true, until they got hurt. Yeah, until they got hurt and he had to play another one. I mean, honestly, I thought
his running back blew out a knee every year.
True. I mean, yeah, Sony Michel, Nick Chubbs, what's his name? Gurley, thank you. At LA. You know, it's kind of interesting. I always said that when we got my Rick, I said if he can win 10 games in the SEC, 10 games a year would put Miami in the ACC championship every year. That literally was my quote. And granted, he did it that 1 year, and we did what were we, number 8th going into the 2018 season as far as recruiting. I thought that would be good enough because of the talent we had, but that I was wrong. I mean, it wasn't good enough, and the players gave up, the coaches gave up. I mean, Manny Diaz came in and fired every single offensive coach, workout coordinator, strength and conditioning coach. After this recruiting year, he fired all the recruiters.
So that's why I say he's done all the right things so far. Because here's the thing, I see a lot of people getting carried away, and not to be the one to piss on anybody's parade, but this team's not going 12-0. This team's not going to be in the playoffs, and this team is not even going to compete with Clemson. They're not there yet.
Okay, so let me adjust. Let me talk about that real quick. All right, so the team is not going 12-0. I completely agree. First of all, I think Florida might be a slippery slope. I think because the energy that we have right now, I think there's a possibility we could win that game. But in the middle of the season, we've got, I believe it's Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and Pittsburgh. 3 games back to back.
North Carolina and Georgia Tech.
Yeah, and Georgia Tech.
We always manage to lose in one of those games.
Exactly. So I agree with you there. I think I had them going 11-1. Now, national championship game, the only way that we would actually get a chance, first of all, we have to beat the shit out of Florida, win all our games, and lose to Clemson in a close game. And then to bring you back to your third point, can we compete with Clemson? I'm not even going to be in denial. I don't think there's a team in college football that can, even with the 5 4-stars or whatever that Alabama has, or whoever, Georgia.
Hang on a second now. I think people took this Clemson win in the national title a little too far. Okay, look back to 2017. Alabama smacked Clemson around in the semifinals of the playoffs just as bad.
Facts.
When Kelly Bryant was the starting quarterback.
True. So you think that
I'm not going to say that that Clemson has this huge advantage over Alabama, because I don't think they do.
Is it? I mean, do you think Clemson this year was a fluke type thing, or what? I mean, what? Honestly, I'll be honest with you. When I watched the game, I couldn't put a finger and pinpoint what the problem was with Alabama.
Nick Saban, point blank period, they beat Nick Saban. Nick Saban didn't know, he was confused. Nick Saban didn't know what to do against that offense. But now he has had all off season to go back and look at it.
Yeah, and you know he is. I mean, of course, him and Bill Belichick are literally cut of the same cloth. And I agree that they are going to be a better team. Okay, so let's say Clemson is not as good. Granted, they probably have about 20 or 30, maybe even 40% more 4 or 5-star players than Miami does. Besides injuries, do you see any way, Shady Canes, that Miami could pull off a victory in the ACC championship?
I mean, maybe if somebody kneecaps Kelly Bryant, but I mean, not Kelly Bryant, but
Trevor Lawrence
before the game. I mean, just put one in his kneecap for the game.
Here's the thing. I live in Georgia, but and I don't know if you know this. It's first time on the line with you. The high school that I went to, we are rivals with Harrison High School, which is where Justin Fields went. And where Trevor Lawrence went in Cartersville was about 15 minutes from my high school. So literally all 3 are in the same little area. I wasn't impressed.
if I had stayed in Georgia, I would have played for Colquitt County High School.
They were good, man. They Colquitt, they should do some damage. But that was back in the day when them country boys should knock you out, make your mouthpiece go out and all that. You know what I'm saying? They practice on dirt fields. I know you practiced on a dirt field.
Yes, I did.
So
if I had stayed in Georgia, I'd have played for Colquitt County High School. Instead, I'm up here in West Tennessee, about an hour north of Memphis. I played for Covington High School. We went to state 3 times. Wow.
So I mean, like I said, I wasn't honestly my high school. If you watch QB1 North Cobb, they actually beat Justin Fields 46-45 that game. That was the game where he broke his finger at the end of the season. So if you saw that one, but honestly, I wasn't truly impressed. And Carterville, where Trevor Lawrence went, it's a 4A school, so they don't play against a lot of the big schools. I honestly wasn't impressed with either one of them. Now, granted, in college, I'm not going to take that away from them. But back to our point, though. So let me ask you, what do you think that our record reasonably will be at the end of the regular season? Not including Clemson. I think we're going to make the ACC championship. But what do you think? I mean, what team do you think we can lose to?
At worst, and this is my opinion, the absolute worst, they'll go 9-3.
9-3.
At best, they can pull off an 11-1. They can pull it off because Florida State's not guaranteed. I mean, obviously, we only beat them by 1 this past year.
I know.
And even, I mean, if you go back
even last year,
that series,
yeah.
If you go back through the history, so many of those games
3 points.
So close, it's not even funny.
Yeah, they're all field goals. Wide left, wide right, wide left. Yeah.
Well,
okay.
Not even that. I mean, you can go back to the 70s when neither Miami or Florida State were very good, and those are still close games. Or Florida State started to get better before Miami did, specifically under Bobby Bowden in the mid 70s, and there still were never really any. I mean, you have the occasional blowout, but most of them are all close games.
Yeah, I think I look back on it. I think once a decade there was a blowout, but that was it. All the other games were 5-point games. I think maybe 7-point games, but literally like once a decade on average was there a blowout. I mean, I definitely can see that. I think Florida State's going to be struggling this year with the fact that their quarterback situation was up in arms, and I still don't even know what they're doing over there. All right, so you said 9.
Let's look at it like this: if everybody thinks Miami can turn their offense around in 1 year, who's to say Florida State and Georgia Tech can't do the same? Or like you said, North Carolina.
I am actually worried about Georgia Tech. Let me tell you something about Georgia Tech. Now, granted, it's a big technology school. I live in Georgia, but the fact that they are changing their offense from the option, which honestly used to give a lot of people a lot of trouble because it was that game of the year where it was like, damn, we don't even know how to prepare. To now, we're like, when we play Georgia Tech, we honestly we'll have some game film, but we won't really have any players that have played against that offense. I mean, there is no more option run offenses left in the ACC. So I think Georgia Tech definitely can be a sleeper. And of course, Florida State, and then of course, Florida. So, I mean, if you go that way, then that's your 3 games right there.
That's a possibility. Now, don't get me wrong. They definitely have the ability to beat Florida. Florida's going to be a top 10 ranked team when the season opens.
Yeah, I think they're at 8 right now. I think they'll probably move. I don't know. They might not move at all, but I think Florida's still going to stay at 8. So yeah, I got you there.
But if the team has the mentality that the fan base does and thinks that they're just going to walk in there and walk over Miami, that's going to cost them the game. Because for people, you may not watch him. I'm sorry.
From Uncle Lou's a beast. I no disrespect.
And I got on Uncle Lou's show after that. I tried to tell people he just talking shit.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
But and Uncle Lou agreed with me. You know, and he said it himself several times. These players are willing to run through a wall from idiots.
I saw that. I actually watched that. That was his stream a couple days ago where he did best case, worst case scenario. And honestly, everything that he said in that stream, honestly agreed on. Worst case scenario, that 3-game stretch, I could see us slipping up. We've always either lost a game to Virginia, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, or Pitt in the last 10 years. So
something else he said is a big reason why I think they will lose 2 or 3 games this year. This is Manny Diaz's first year ever as a
head coach. Yep.
He is going to make some bonehead, knucklehead mistakes.
And he's aggressive, and aggressive coaches always do something like that.
Well, I mean, it's one of those high risk, high reward.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's bound to happen. I mean, look at Kirby Smart's first year at Georgia. They went 8-4. You know, okay, but now look at them. I mean, they're
10, 11 wins guaranteed.
Year in and year out.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, they're 10, 11 wins every year. I mean, Kirby Smart is smarter than I ever gave him respect for. And I agree with that one. All right, so you said Georgia Tech, Florida State, Florida. That's 3 games. And of course, when we get to Clemson, that's going to be a whole different ball game. All right, so can I ask you one thing? I'm gonna finish it off the stream here. I've been a little long, but I want to ask you one thing. If we win or lose the Florida game, what type of impact do you see that making our season? If we win the game or if we lose the game?
I mean, if we win the game, I mean, be perfectly honest with you, my possible 11-1 was us. The only game we would lose would be Florida.
Okay.
Because see, here's the thing: as long as they are competitive against Florida and they are in that game, win or lose, they have a week before they third bye week because they moved that game back a week.
Yep, we have 3 bye weeks.
I think he can pull them back together after that loss, especially if they're competitive in that game. Now, if they win it, I mean, I could be totally wrong. They may, a lot of that team was there in 2017. They
True.
may be able to handle a little bit better, going on a run.
Okay.
A lot of that's going to depend on the quarterback position.
True.
Now, am I saying that they're absolutely not going to go 12-0 during the regular season? No, it could happen. I mean, like Lou said, they have a very soft schedule this year.
Yeah.
Me personally, my goals for this year are no different than they were in 2017 and 2018. Win the Coastal and have, at the very least, a competitive game against Clemson.
Exactly.
That's my goals.
Okay.
Honestly, I think that's reasonable.
I do too. I mean, honestly, I think the 9-3. I just see the people say 8-5, and I was like, where are these losses coming from? I did do a little dive in and try to figure out and try to dissect the stuff. So that, I mean, honestly, that makes completely perfect sense. And let me ask you one more time. Or let me ask you one more question before I get off here on live stream. Love you guys. Everybody's been on here. If Miami were to go undefeated, and this is best case scenario, if we were to go to undefeated and lose to Clemson, would there be 2 ACC teams in the college football playoffs? And what would the possibility be? I know it's going to come and score.
It depends. It depends on what happens in the SEC. It depends on what happens in the Big 12. Because, I mean, just to throw you out a scenario, okay, Ohio State and Michigan both go undefeated. Ohio State's only loss is a close game to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Say Alabama and Georgia go undefeated, and Alabama's only loss is a close game to Georgia.
Okay.
You can have nothing but the Big Ten and the SEC in the college football play. I mean, there's just, you never know. I mean, what's Clemson going to do this year? They lost a lot along the O line. They're losing some on the D line too because they kept a lot of guys there for their senior year.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a tricky.
Which way is the wind blowing? There ain't no telling.
I mean, I agree with you, and I want to hit you with this because I definitely agree with that. I mean, you got to think, like you said, you got Michigan and Ohio State. You got Georgia and Alabama. And let's just go ahead and most likely I would bet $50 to $100 on that. Clemson, at worst case scenario, they don't lose more than one game, and most likely they'll win ACC. So that means they're in. So that's one ACC. Then you got Big Ten, which will give you a Michigan or a Ohio State. Of course, you got Alabama and a Georgia. That's 5 teams. And the team that I am looking at that I think is going to not be as good as everybody think is, but will be good enough to make the playoffs, is going to be Oklahoma with Jalen Hurts. So that's 6 teams right there.
That's the thing. It's going to be the winner of the Big 12. So it's going to be Oklahoma. More than likely, it's going to be Oklahoma, probably Alabama, Clemson, and probably Ohio State if they don't screw up and lose Purdue again. But just to throw something out there, you're going to have the winner of the ACC,
the
SEC, probably the Big Ten, probably the Big 12. I don't think you're going to have
a second loss ACC, huh?
I don't think you're going to have a place for a runner-up out of one of those conferences. I mean, I could be wrong. Big Ten got left out this past year.
Yeah, but I mean that was
I mean, you just don't know. I mean, Pac-12 hasn't made it since the first year. And let me tell you something. Washington's going to be a dangerous team.
I agree.
Washington State is always.
They're always right there, aren't they?
Be dangerous.
Yeah, they're and shout out to Coach Herman Edwards. I was rooting for Arizona State this year. I was glad to see that they were pretty good this year. Arizona State. I think that's going to be a competition in the Pac-12 because Coach Herm is a great coach. But yes, I completely agree with you on that one, man. That's going to be so tricky.
He is, but I think he's a little behind Oregon, Washington, and Washington State.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Well, I don't know, man. Oregon's got what they need in their coaching staff and talent-wise. Especially with Nike up there running thing with Phil Knight running Oregon. But
like this. Oregon's losses were all close. Nobody blew them out.
Nope. You're right.
Nobody.
That Pac-12 is weird right now. I still wondering what's going on with the Pac-12. I think it's going to be a little bit here and there that's going to boost him over. Maybe it's going to be one player that goes to the Pac-12 that's going to be hands down. I thought it was going to be what's his name, Love from Stanford a couple years ago. That was going to boost him into where they were going. Now I think about it, Washington has what's the quarterback name that went to Georgia that left after Jacob Eason. That might be a sure pick. So until maybe until they get 8 teams, Miami might be on a little behind, but I think we still got a good way of doing good. But here's the thing. We have the weakest schedule, probably one of the weakest schedules in all of college football. So if we can pull up the Miami from the 80s or 90s and beat everybody but like 41 points, and maybe there's a possibility that with a close loss to Clemson, a 1-loss Miami team gets in. But, hey, that's a long stretch. I'm not even going to lie. I would not bet my family's food bill on that one. I'm just going to keep it real.
And I mean, like I said, there's too many things that could go wrong that just for me, it's too much of a long shot. Like I said, do they have the ability to beat Florida? Yes.
I agree.
Will they probably beat Florida? I hope so. Well,
Yeah.
I've seen Miami lose one time to Florida in my life.
Honestly, I got to go back and look and remember the last game I watched. What game was it that they lost? What year was that? I know it wasn't 14, 4, 7? Okay. Was that the Tebow year?
It was the year Randy Shannon brought in the #1 recruiting class in the country, and Florida had Tebow, Florida had Purdy.
That's what I thought.
And that game was close until the fourth quarter.
That's exactly what I thought it was. Man, that was hard too. I thought we were going to be good. You know what's so crazy about Miami is that we would do good. I mean, people forget, and a lot of people forget Uncle Lou and, you know, and everybody else. They'll forget that even last year we were ranked #2 in the country, not 2018, but I mean, fiscal last year, we were ranked #2 in the country before we lost that Pitt game. And I mean, Miami, you know what? I think we have a stronghold to the Dallas Cowboys, and I guess we can thank Jimmy Johnson for that, and we can thank Stephen A. Smith, because whatever can happen will happen. And I hope this year will be better than that.
Well, let's be honest. Me personally, I saw them losing at any point throughout that season except for 2 games.
Yeah.
There were only 2 games that were blowouts that whole year.
George,
every other game came down to the wire.
The Notre Dame game and the Virginia Tech. And you know what? Every game, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I felt bad for Notre Dame in that game because the way we spanked that ass. And I thought that was a turning point for us. But yeah, you're right. Notre Dame, Virginia Tech were the only 2 games that we were not cardiac canes all season when we went 10-3. So.
Yeah, I mean, the defense was the entire reason.
Oh, yeah.
That they did.
I mean, but that was year 1 turnover chain, and that did damage to people to a point that they couldn't comprehend it. And now it's like, you know, they've gotten used to it. Like last year, I mean, the last 5 games of the season last year, how many times we see a turnover chain? Like 5 times, maybe once a game.
Let's be honest, they're not going to get 31 turnovers every year.
No.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
But the problem was, and the problem continued to be this past season, the offense doing anything with the turnovers.
Nothing.
The North Carolina game, for instance, the defense scored 21 points in that game.
Yep. That's ridiculous. Well, the Virginia game, we had 3 turnover chains in the first, quarter or half, and got 3 points in that Virginia game. So, I mean, you're right. I mean, that was a different thing. So, you know,
I say this whole spring should be dedicated to the offense, and it's not just wide receivers. You know, a lot of people think, you know, the run game will take care of itself. No, it won't.
It won't.
You have to put the right backs in the right play in the right situation.
Yeah, I agree with that one, man. I'm kind of interested to see what DJ Dallas going to do. I know a lot of people give mad props. I know Lingard is still dealing with his injury. And I know Cameron Harris, formerly Cameron Davis, they said he's looking good. But I honestly I don't know. He feels like a fullback to me. And I'm saying that he won't be a good running back. But right now they're saying DJ Dallas is going to be our #1. But with that offensive line, let's just keep it real. None of that is honestly going to matter. You can look at the Patriots and tell me the last 5 years if you can name who their running back was every year. Don't worry, I'll wait, because you can't. It doesn't matter. But their offensive line was so good that they made things work. So that's going to be a big pivotal point.
I completely agree with you, but that putting the right running back in the right situation is what makes you know that running back's name. You know, take 2001, for instance, okay? They continuously swapped out between, you know, Portis, McGahee, and Gore.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay? They put Gore in, they put Portis in, you know, more of a spread formation, open up the field for him.
True.
You know, on a first down run. Okay? Say you're 3rd and 3. Well, that's when they throw McGahee into the game.
Exactly.
And I think that's how they need to play this. Lorenzo Lingard is going to be your Clinton Portis type running back.
I agree. He's going to be that quick outside run, maybe quick passes, maybe screenplays. Okay.
Run, that's going to be your Wilson McGahee type running back.
Yeah, straight down the field, like bust your head. I'm going right through the hole, maybe.
Now, something something Dan Enos has liked to do in the past in his offenses, and I would like to see it done because it can be effective and nobody uses it anymore, is our fullback George.
Man, they said that boy is fast. They say he is looking ridiculous.
Hang on now. Here's what I'm saying. Imagine him being utilized in an offense the way the Tampa Bay Buccaneers used to utilize Mike Allstott.
Ooh. Wait, can I ask you a question? You probably know better. Was Dan Enos at Tampa Bay at that time when they had Allstott or not?
I don't know. I could look that up.
Because that was years ago, but I know he was at Tampa Bay. But that's a good point because Mike Allstott honestly was one of the most prolific fullbacks. I'm trying to think that I remember in that period of time when I left high school and college and I was, starting as an adult. Mike Allstott was that guy.
Dude, Allstott would take the ball, they'd hand it off to him, and he would drag 3 defenders with him or catch him on a sweep out of the backfield, and he would drag 2 or 3 defenders into the end zone.
Man, they said that boy's fast, man. That's interesting. That's an interesting point, though. I mean, you don't really see fullbacks used pretty much at all.
You don't. And granted, it's coming from a biased opinion. I was born and raised in Clearwater, Florida, right across the bay from Tampa. I'm a Tampa Bay Bucks fan. But I think that's an element of old school football that nobody does anymore.
Yeah.
Catch a lot of people off guard with it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one, man. They don't do that anymore because it's so much of a passing game. And if you do have a fullback in there, he's only blocking. No one actually honestly knows who he is. But it would be interesting if Dan Enos implements a fullback play where either he's doing a hesitation run, so he might hold the block for 2 seconds and then runs right to the center and turns around on a quick hitch, or maybe he does a quick out. That would be interesting to see that accompanied with a tight end running maybe a quick post or a small slant or a quick out. That'd be interesting to see. So I'll be looking forward to that one.
Well, before we get off of here, there are a couple of things I wanted to correct you on before we got off here.
Okay, most definitely.
Number one, Michael Irvin III is the best blocking tight end we have on that team, hands down.
No. Why do you say that? Is his size, skill, or
it has to do with the size and his skill at blocking?
Okay, so you're saying Michael Irvin is the best tight end blocking we got
that we have right now.
That actually makes my insides bubble. I like that.
He has a very ball too.
Okay. Now, wait, is there any downside as far as his dedication? Because I heard that, and granted, this was coming from Mark Rick, but I heard that the reason why he had issues his freshman, sophomore year is because he wouldn't show up to practice. He's missing practice or missing class. So, I mean, you have any insight on that? Do you think that he can overcome that?
I think a lot of that had to do with, probably had to do with the point you made of his upbringing. But at the time, Mark Richt even said, a couple weeks later, those issues have been corrected.
He did say that. I remember that.
And he's in good standing. So you already know what happened. He called his daddy.
Facts.
He called his daddy on him.
I bet he did too. And Irvin went ham. That's probably why he lost his voice. And they thought he had throat cancer because he cussed his ass out. Okay.
And you know exactly what happened.
Yep.
He came down there, got in his ass, and he straightened up.
And you know what?
To be honest with you, that was his freshman year of college.
Yeah.
He got his knee last year. So, okay, you expect some goofball, dumbass shit out of a freshman.
True. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these 18-year-old kids. Yeah. So, okay. So, I agree with you on that. I like that.
The only other thing I wanted to correct you on, we lost that 2002 Fiesta Bowl. We lost it.
We lost it? Wait, hold on.
Been that close for that to even matter.
Okay, I'll give you that. And I understand what you're saying. I remember the 30 for 30 with Jimmy Johnson said when we lost to Alabama or Notre Dame, it says you do not leave a close game on the board because the referees are going to take this from me. So You are
Well,
saying
that
that.
was the only game. I mean, Jimmy Johnson was the coach in '85 when Vinny Testaverde threw 5 interceptions against Penn State.
Oh God, that was an ugly game. Watch that on 30 for 30, guys. If you guys have not watched it. Okay, so, but man, let me tell you something, man. That game hurt though. That Ohio State game. That was my freshman year in college. I remember I was back at home. I could not believe the confetti flew down though, and they threw the flag. You're not bitter? Tell me you're not bitter though.
That play is still the #1 worst blown call in football history according to ESPN.
I agree.
But that game should never have
Been that close. I agree. I think we had a couple pass interference penalties on that.
If you do want to say robbed, well, I will point up the 2000 season. That team, to me, was probably better than the 2001 team.
That 2000 squad was, they don't really talk about it because, of course, all the players came back for the next year. And then, of course, we had, 19 players first round or something like that?
Wasn't even the starting running back. Adrian James was.
Yeah.
Okay. The only time Andre Johnson saw the field was on special teams.
Yeah.
Because Reggie Wayne and Santana Moss were the starting wide receivers.
My boy, number 6, you already know. That team was nasty. You know what? A lot of people say it to me, and I try to like get over it, but they always say, you know what, Slapping. The NCAA hates Miami, and it's the swagger, and of course you see the 30 for 30s, and all the reason why they came up with these penalties and unsportsmanlike conducts was us.
The NCAA may hate Miami, but ESPN loves them.
And you know what? So I can't remember who said it. I want to say it was what's the dude I don't like? I can think of his name from Texas, but he always says that my college football is better when Miami is good. It's one of those teams, you know. It's like the Yankees and yes, thank you. Yeah, he said. Yeah, I love college. When Miami's good, it's good for college football, regardless of the landscape, because it's just that time. It's like the Yankees in football. It's like the Lakers in basketball. I'm sorry, Yankees in baseball. Yeah, Lakers or Boston in basketball. So, I honestly think that.
I mean, to me, it's even a stretch to say the NCAA doesn't like Miami, because look at this last thing. The whole Devin Shapiro scandal, all they ended up with was losing 9 scholarships over a 3-year period.
Yep.
3 per year.
Yeah, and you did say
they have a whole squad there. They only have 3 open scholarship positions right now.
Yeah. And we just got 85, yep.
They were at 82.
And we just got one back when whatchamacallit left. Cade Weldon. Which I don't even know why he stayed, but I gotta give much love to that dude because he stuck around for a minute for no reason.
You know what? I gotta give it to Cade Weldon for the simple fact his daddy almost won the Heisman for Florida State and he chose to come to Miami.
I know, isn't that crazy though? And honestly, he probably could have went to Florida State, and this year they probably would have named him starting quarterback with all the drama they had.
Yeah.
So.
But, I mean, like I said, and ESPN, and it proves that ESPN loves Miami. 5 of their top, I think it was 5 of their top 8 most viewed games ever in ESPN history, or it's 5 of the top 6 are all Miami games. 4 of them are games against Florida State. The other one is a 2017 game against Notre Dame.
Wow, I'm surprised the Nebraska. I bet that Nebraska game was close. The camel fatigue was pretty close on that one too. Can't believe we lost that game, though.
ESPN wasn't as big back then. You have to figure that back in
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. They were just starting off. That first year was like what, early 80s, something like that, late 70s. ESPN just started. So yeah, that's crazy though. But
ESPN didn't really blow up until the 90s.
Yep. Why left, why right?
Well,
Thank you, orange and green.
Those are some of them. I think the 2009 game against Florida State where Travis Benjamin caught the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah,
Is one of them.
that's bananas.
I can't remember what all of them were, but 5 of the top 6 are all Miami games. ESPN loves me.
I know one of them is the one where
As far as the NCAA goes, man, they're just. To be honest with you, right now, Mizzou's probably saying the NCAA hates them because the same exact thing that they let North Carolina walk on, they just slapped Missouri with. So, I mean,
that's
the
true.
NCAA is just inconsistent.
Hey, you know what? It's all driven by money, but you know what? One thing Miami has up on them is a lot of people forget that Miami is a private university. It's not a state funded. It's a private college. So, you know, everybody can talk about all they want to as far as our players and not be able to get into other schools, but Miami's a private university. I know I looked at them for law school, and it ain't easy to get into. Granted, if you got some skills, though, they get you up in there.
And there are actually a lot of schools that people don't. USC is another one. USC is a private school.
Yeah, USC's hard, yeah.
A lot of these schools are private schools.
Yeah, they got a good ass film school because you know I'm in film school right now. USC's got a good one, man, but you gotta have that clout.
Yeah.
Or your parents gotta go ahead and write that fake check or whatever they've been doing at Harvard. I was so glad to know that Miami's name was not in that whole scandal. You have no idea. Like I literally was sweating watching that when they talked about these actors and actresses paying Harvard and Yale and USC to get their kids into the school. And I was like, boy, don't let it be Miami. We can't handle this again.
But see, I've said it for years because any big name program that you can think of outside of the couple has been caught paying players.
Oh, of course.
If anybody in the country is not paying players, you're sticking your head in the sand.
They're all doing it, man. It's just some get caught and some don't. But there's certain schools, man. You gotta think though. Think about it. The 2 schools that you could think about literally in the history, besides the Penn State scandal, which was a different ball game, and the Baylor thing was a different ball game, was Miami and USC, and both of the private schools. And you think about how they came down. I mean, they stripped USC of their national championship, and then of course they were trying to give Miami the death penalty over theirs.
People try and say they're the only ones. A lot of people forget 2001 that Alabama got caught paying Albert Means to come there, and they got put on a 5-year suspension.
I did not know that. That was 2001.
That was 2001.
Dang, that wasn't even that long. I did not know that. Man, I did not know that. I know that there've been some other schools, Florida State, have their little scandals, and most of their scandals are with quarterbacks and Crab, and you know what I'm saying? Or Auburn had their Cam Newton still in laptops, but those 2 I remember the most. But I did not know that about Alabama. But you know what though? And I always try to tell people this all the time. They're like, and you said it earlier, if you can't think that Miami can change their football talent in 1 year or do a change, then you can't think that Florida State can't as well. And I always try to tell people that college football is a little different than most other football. I mean, besides probably the Patriots, it is driven by the coaches. And once you get a coach in there that is a dominant figure and can run these boys, they can do anything in 1 year. Nick Saban did it at LSU. He did it at Auburn. Dabo Sweeney is doing it. Nick Saban.
Dabo Sweeney's been at Clemson for almost a decade, though.
Well, yeah,
Dabo Sweeney's taken his time and built that program.
I mean, it's true, but you know, when he started out, it was Terry Bowden, Bobby's son, and then they fired him, brought in Dabo, and then they were what? I think they went like 5-6 the next year. And I think about after 3 years, they went like 8-3 a couple times. And then that was around the change of the guard for Florida State. But now, I mean, you see where he's at. But like I said, I would still say it is a coach-driven sport. And there's not very many.
Behind saying what I did about Manny, go back and look up Nick Saban's first year at Michigan State.
Ooh, they were horrible.
Horrible.
4-6? What was that? I saw that on ESPN like a couple years ago. 5-7, I think.
Off the top of my
They were like 5-7. I mean, he was horrible at. Look at that. Look at Nick Saban and look at Bill Belichick when they were at Cleveland Browns at the same time. You know, and
Myers' first year at Utah.
ooh, that was bad too. So yeah, I mean, give him a chance. I understand that. I just think that I don't know. I can't say that I just think that because the fact that I am biased, and I'm not gonna lie, like I'm not biased. Anyone tells you they're not biased, they're lying. But
Exactly.
I still think the fact that our defense was our stronghold for the last 3 years, and the fact that our head coach literally stepped from defense and just moved into the supervisor role and then brought in everybody else. I think that's a little different than a first-time coach at a new school.
And I'm not saying it can't happen. Because perfect example, look at Lincoln Riley at Oklahoma.
Facts. 2 Heisman winners back to back.
I mean, he hasn't won a playoff game yet, but Lincoln Riley's consistently made it to the playoffs every year he's been a head coach.
Exactly. With a defense that sucked. Let's not bullshit. The Texas and Oklahoma game, they both scored 40 plus.
With a defense this past year that was ranked lower than the University of Miami's offense.
Which is hard because we were 113th in passing. I think overall we were 106, which is bananas.
We were 104 overall.
There we go.
Oklahoma's defense was 128 overall.
Yes, that's bananas. But like I said, they play in a different little ball game than what we do. But I mean, I don't know. I think if you think about the competition on both sides, maybe comparatively, you know, a great, like I said, but I think the Colts was probably the worst division in the Power 5. Besides,
the only one I might say is worse is that whatever that other division is in the Big Ten that everybody else is not in.
Exactly. What is that? Well, they should be like legions and legends or whatever it was.
East and West. So whichever one, Michigan, Ohio State, and all them aren't in.
Yeah, they're all on one side, and then you got like Northwestern, and you got like Northwestern, Iowa State, Purdue, and Iowa. They're all on like one side, and then of course you got, which is ridiculous. I don't know who the hell is running that conference, but I definitely would switch that up because you got Michigan State, Michigan, and Ohio State all on the same side. That doesn't even make sense to me.
You got like Wisconsin and Penn State and Purdue and West Virginia on the other side.
Yep, Rutgers and Maryland.
Yeah.
That's on that side. Yeah. Yep. They were legions and legends, and I think now they're East and West. Well, yeah, that's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, people talk about what used to be the Big East now. The Big East used to be a dominant conference.
The Big East. Look, I have to tell people this all the time. Michael Vick. I have to tell people this all the time. Pittsburgh has 9 national championships. Let's just stop right there. Pittsburgh has 9 national championships. Not to mention you had West Virginia, Virginia Tech, Miami.
What's funny though is Pitt got none of those national championships when Dan Marino was there.
You're kidding me. They don't have one with them. They got 9, but damn, that sucks, dude. I feel bad for him. It's like Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly conversation made me hurt too. I'll be like, damn, bro.
When you talk about those claimed national championships, especially like Pitt's that are way back in the day, or a lot of Alabama's that are way back in the day, I have a friend's an Alabama fan, and I can't remember what year it was off the top of my head, but I got to looking this up. Alabama claimed the national title one year that they had 3 losses and didn't win the SEC and lost their bowl game.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You gotta be kidding me.
You can't go by all these claimed national championships.
They say numbers don't lie, but yeah, they definitely do. I mean, I can't believe that. You know, Florida State used to be an independent school. And I always tell this, my best friend's a Florida State fan, my boy Elijah, best friend, no lie. But his older brother is a Miami fan, and they're from Fort Lauderdale. And I always tell them this, Florida State has been playing football for like 50 years longer than Miami. And all they want to talk about is, hey, yeah, but you guys, all y'all talk about your 5 national championships. I say, yeah, we haven't won one in 18, 21 years, but you guys still haven't caught up. That's all I gotta say. You still ain't caught up.
Well, go back to before the BCS era too. How many years do you have two teams claim a national title?
Oh, multiple. I mean, I became a Miami fan because my dad retired from the Air Force. We moved from Italy and we moved to Georgia, and that was 1991. I knew I was from Washington. Washington Huskies split the national championship game with Miami in 91, and I couldn't see no Washington game. There was no ESPN at 11 a.m. Or 11 p.m. at night. So I was like, well, you know, if they're as good as where I'm from, then maybe I'll root these guys. And I've been a Miami fan since 1991. But you're absolutely right.
Well, back then, it went by the polls. There was only one poll that claimed Washington was the national champion. Every other poll has Miami as the national
Really? I didn't, like I said, I didn't know that. I think I was, let's see, I'm about to be 36. So that was 91. I probably was like, what, 10, 11, somewhere around there?
I was 3 years old.
Were you?
I
Damn.
was born in 88, yes, sir.
Oh, my wife's born in 88. That's what's up.
I'm 30 years old, but
You 31 years old?
Information even before I was born.
See, there you go. So everybody asking me, like, why am I a fan? No, granted, I still rep my Huskies. I still rep my Seattle Sonics. I hope they bring my Supersonics back. All the good stuff, milk and cookies. But you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. But I still think that the Canes, I have hope for us every year, and I'm so excited for this season.
I think this season's going to be good. Like I said, I think people just need to tone down their expectations a little bit.
I mean, be honest with you, I can deal with a 9-3 season. I think that I will only be disappointed if we do not make the ACC championship game. I'm going to put it right there, you know, regardless of the numbers, if it's 10-2, 11-1, 12-0, whatever it is. I think if we don't go to the ACC championship, I will view it as a loss.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I guess that to wrap a bow on this, just in case because I know a lot of Gators fans like to jump in these chats. Everybody just remember one thing, okay? A bad year in Gainesville, the Gators go 4-8. A bad year in Miami, we only go 7-5.
Facts. I mean, if we lose more than 4 games, we're like, you know, we're pissed. I mean, I'm just gonna be real with you. That's just Miami. That's Miami mentality. But that's what happens when you're a winner, not a loser. When you are a boss and not a worker. I mean, that's how Miami thinks. So,
yeah. All right, boss. Well, let me hop off here.
all right, man. Hey, good talking to you, Sim Shady Canes. Hey, we're gonna be going live again in a couple days. Like I said, I'm gonna be down in Orlando in like 2 weeks or whatever. But we'll be going live again. I'll put up some more posts, man. Hey, thank you for calling in. No doubt, man. I love it. All right, G. Holla. All right, you guys. That was my boy, Sim Shady Canes. Man, it was good to have him calling in. He has not called into the show before, but I have actually talked to him on Alonzo's 1219. If you guys have not liked, subscribe, comment to his channel, check it out. Dennis just said, damn, y'all boys young. Dennis said we will not go 9-3. He will cry. LSU, Mike Will said, Mike, LSU, USC 03. I just want to thank everybody for coming on chat. I actually was on a lot longer than I was going to be. But I love talking to you guys. All right, check it out. If you guys have not checked out the stream from earlier today, check it out. I got all the information on there. We got the live streams that are going back on and popping. I will be in Orlando, Florida with the wifey. So If you guys got shirts, send me a email to slappintv@gmail.com. Send me a picture. Also, if you're on my Patreon page, I got the shirts up where you guys can order your special sizes. So if you're 2X, 3X, I don't call special sizes. I'm a big guy, but I ordered a lot of small shirts. I'm pretty much out of shirts, but we're gonna get those ready, up and coming for the spring game. Again, much love. I'm literally an hour and a half past what I said it was gonna be, but it's your boy Director Chill SlappinTV. I am going to holla at y'all, man. Y'all have a good night. Tomorrow's Monday morning. Get that money, get paid, and you know what? It's all about you, baby. I'll holler. Peace.